to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Alyssa. Today I want to talk to you about skincare, and specifically I want to share 5 simple, really attainable things that you can do that are going to help you have healthy, glowing, clear skin. So before we dive in, I want to actually just give you a little bit of a backstory. So I get a lot of questions and comments about skincare. I've shared some skincare tips along the way on this channel. But last year in 2018, this is January now that I'm filming this, but last year for the past 6 months or so, my skin has been really out of whack. You probably can't notice on videos because I don't get super close up on my face, but I have been getting breakouts on my forehead. I get breakouts around here, and they haven't just been little tiny zits. I've been getting big pimples, and that is not something that is normal for me at all. So I figured that something was happening inside of my body. So in January, which is when you're watching this video, I decided that I really needed to strip down to basics. I needed to figure out what was going on, and I really wanted to focus on clearing up my skin. So I made a few really simple changes in my lifestyle, and it made a huge impact on how my skin looked. And I can tell you, in less than 10 days, I had completely clear skin. Now, I want to preface, I'm not saying that this is necessarily going to immediately clear up everyone's skin, but if you do kind of struggle with breakouts here and there, you're not dealing with maybe cystic acne or really bad skin problems, these things could potentially help you get clear and glowing skin in a really short amount of time. So I've also included a full blog post which includes all of this info. We dive into detail, everything like that. I link products, all that stuff that you need to know. So if you want to check that out when you're done watching the video, don't forget to check out the description box. I'll also include the products that I mentioned in today's video down in the description box so you can get those if you're interested. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into our tips for getting clear and glowing skin in no time. So let's begin by saying I'm a firm believer that what goes into our body reflects the outside. So if you aren't putting good stuff inside of your body, whether it's the products you're using, the food that you're eating, the stuff that you're drinking, that isn't going to reflect positively on your skin. So if you are dealing with skin issues, I think one of the first things to focus on is what food you're putting into your body and what drinks you're drinking. So for me, that's the first thing that I started to think about, and that's going to bring us into tip number 1. So tip number 1 is to make sure that you are eating whole, real, nutrient-dense foods. And that's a really simple thing that you guys are probably rolling your eyes at, but seriously, it has a huge impact on how your skin looks. And I really recommend that you try to focus on adding as much fiber-rich, nutrient-rich fruits and veggies into your diet as possible. If you're making recipes from my website or from this channel, then you're probably already kind of on this lifestyle train. But if you're still in that transition period where you're still adding in some junk, or maybe you're eating just stuff that isn't necessarily whole and real, maybe it's really processed, that could be having an impact on your skin. I really recommend greens, things that are really high in vitamins and minerals, high in antioxidants, so things like berries. And like I said, I will include a full list in that blog post, so make sure to check that out if you're interested. Tip number 2 is to reduce your sugar intake. I noticed a direct correlation with the amount of sugar that I was eating and how my skin was looking. So over the holidays, you guys are watching this in January, over the holidays, I was eating a lot of cookies, I was baking all the time, I was eating things out that I don't normally eat, I was eating a lot of fried food, and that showed up on my skin, which obviously is no surprise. What I'm putting in is going to show on the outside. So one of the things that I focused on in January was reducing my sugar intake. I have cut out refined sugar completely, so I'm not eating any refined sugar anymore. And I'm also cutting out all of the processed carbohydrates, anything fried, anything like that that's not nutrient dense and not healthy for me, I have cut out, and that made an almost immediate impact on the way that my skin looked. So sugar is one of those things that can really wreak havoc on your system internally, and it's something that I think that we all need to think about limiting in general. So if you are somebody that has a really big sweet tooth, I recommend that you just try for maybe the next 2 weeks to cut out as much sugar as you can. That's not to say that I'm not still eating sweet things. Like I'm still eating sweet potatoes. I have a smoothie every single day. I'm just not eating as much chocolate as I used to. I'm not really baking as much as I used to. And I'm not necessarily saying that I'm not going to ever do that again because I love those things, but I really wanted to cut them out for a little bit and see how my skin responded, kind of get my skin back to a baseline, and then I can start incorporating more things like that and just be a little bit more mindful going forward. Tip number 3 is to cut out alcohol. And this is the first time that I have ever done dry January, but all month long I have decided not to drink any alcohol. I was definitely indulging more in wine and cocktails than I normally do. And there are 2 reasons why that affects the skin. Well, there's a bunch of different reasons, but the 2 main reasons why alcohol affects the skin is that alcohol is hurting your natural detoxification process. So it impacts the liver, and your liver is in charge of detoxing and flushing things out. And when you're not properly detoxing, things can get pushed to the surface, and that shows up in your skin. The other reason why alcohol is not great for acne is that it also disrupts your hormones. And when your hormones are off balance and your endocrine system is not normalized, it can show up in breakouts. And specifically in women, if you do have hormonal issues, a sign that you're dealing with that in terms of your skin is where you're getting your breakouts. So hormonal breakouts are specifically usually around the jawline and also around here. So if you're noticing that you're getting breakouts along your chin or maybe around your jawline, that could be a sign that you're dealing with some hormonal imbalances, and cutting alcohol out is a good way to help to start trying to normalize those things. Number 4 is sleep. And sleep is so important just for all aspects of health. But specifically, it's helpful for your skin because it helps to keep your hormone levels in check. And lack of sleep or not getting quality sleep is a huge problem for your hormonal system. So I recommend that you guys get a minimum of 7 hours of sleep every single day. And I actually mentioned this on Instagram, and I got a question from somebody that was like, well, how do you get more sleep, or how are you getting more sleep now? And the answer is really simple. I'm just going to bed earlier. So instead of going to bed at 10 and waking up at 6, I am shutting everything down in my house, like the TV, everything, getting Trevi walked, getting my teeth brushed, everything like that around 9:30. And then I get in bed, I read for a little while, and it's lights out no later than 10 o'clock. So I am somebody that really needs 8 hours of sleep every single night, and I really notice the impacts on not only my energy levels, but also my hormones, which again is my skin, or shows itself in my skin. And it's definitely something that I think that you should take into consideration if you are not putting an emphasis on the amount of sleep that you're getting every single night. Tip number 5 is hydration. And we've talked a lot about hydration on this channel before, but it is so important for you to stay hydrated. And one of the reasons why it's really impactful for your skin is not only does it help your skin's elasticity, so it helps make it a little bit like more bouncy, and it also helps just make it more glowing in general, but hydration also really helps with flushing toxins out of your system. So if you are somebody that is maybe not eating totally healthy all the time, maybe you are somebody that drinks, maybe you just live in a place like New York City, for example, that has a lot of toxins in the environment, it can impact how your detoxification system works. And drinking a lot of water, staying hydrated, is a really good way to keep those things flushed out of your system and keep them from building up behind your skin. So my personal goal is to get 80 ounces of water every single day. I definitely was not doing that for the last couple months. And now that I've really started focusing on drinking a lot of water, it has helped so much. I swear, like, it makes a huge impact on how my skin looks. And it's not only cleared up, but it's really, really helpful with that, like, quote unquote glowy, moisturized look. So try to drink up your water because it will really help your skin. And I actually just realized as I was talking about, I was about to do my outro, but I still have a few more tips that I want to share. So this video is going to have a little bit more than 5 tips, but that's okay. So my other thing that I'm really doing right now is that I'm focusing on exercising every single day, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm at least breaking a sweat. And I don't have to do like an intense workout every single day. I'm doing probably my intense workouts are like 5 to 6 days a week, but I do break a sweat every single day, and I do actually think that that has helped my skin. And if you aren't somebody that currently has an exercise routine, I really encourage you to get moving because it helps encourage your circulation. Again, it helps with detoxification, and it really helps to keep things going inside of your body. It helps regulate your hormones, and it will have a good impact on your skin. And then the last and final thing, and I'm not actually 100% positive if this has made an impact, but as I was kind of thinking about the things that I've been doing differently and what has now changed in my skin, one of the things that I've been doing every single day that I wasn't doing for the last few months is adding some adaptogen powders that are specifically beauty foods into my matchas. So you guys know that I add adaptogens into my matchas every single day. I love adaptogen powders. I usually switch them up, but what I've actually been doing the last few weeks is just focusing on foods that are specifically designed to help boost your skin's radiance and also helps naturally boost the collagen in your skin. So there are two things that I have been adding into my matcha every single morning. They're both from Sun Potion. The first one is jasmine tocos, and I love it. Not only does it taste really good, but it makes the matcha so creamy. It has like a tiny bit of sweetness, and it's actually from rice. So it's from jasmine rice, and one of the main benefits is skin health. So I think that it's probably really helped with the glowiness of my skin, and it's also helped with my skin's radiance. So if you're interested in checking that out, I'll link it down below for you. And then the second one that I've been adding every single morning is pearl powder, which sounds kind of like extravagant and fancy, and I feel kind of fancy adding it into my matcha every single day. But again, this is something that has been used in Chinese medicine for so long, like hundreds and hundreds of years, if not thousands of years, which has been known to help boost the radiance of your skin. So I use a very small amount of the pearl powder, probably like 1/4 teaspoon in my matcha every single day. Can't taste it at all, and it really, I think, has probably helped with the elasticity, it's helped with the radiance, it's helped with the glowiness, and I also think that it probably has helped clear up my skin. So I wanted to end with those two things because I'm not saying by any means that they're necessary. I think they've probably just, if anything, helped increase what I've already been doing, so they just like are supporting the natural healthy things that I'm already doing for my skin. So you don't have to pick those up, but if you're interested in adding some new adaptogens into your life, try checking those out. And you guys, that's pretty much all I have for you today. I hope you found this video helpful and interesting. I actually just shared a brand new morning skincare routine up on my Instagram, so I'll link that down for you below as well. It talks about the products that I'm using right now, and it's a routine that I'm really, really liking. There is a product in there that has been really amazing for my skin. I didn't want to focus this video on products because I think, like I said in the beginning, a lot of what happens for your skin is actually what's happening internally. So I think it's important to first focus on the things that we can all do better. And if you are interested in learning more about any of these tips, like I said, I have a blog post today, so you can find that in the description box below. And then I also just want to put it out there that if you have any questions for me about skincare, feel free to leave them in the comments because I will check your comments. So I hope you found today's video helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. There's a red button right below this video. It says subscribe. You can just tap that button and that will subscribe you. I will also link my skincare/beauty playlist for you down in the description box so you can check out the other natural skincare videos that I have. I am all about non-toxic skincare stuff, so all of that stuff is linked for you down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!